pace. Vision, dreams of passion. And all the while I think of you. A very strange reaction. The more I see, the more I do. Something like a phenomenon, baby. Telling your body to come along, but white lights blow away. Blow, rock it, blow.
So I saw in the news a few weeks ago that Rick Wershe was released from prison, and it got me thinking that I hadn't seen the movie White Boy Rick yet. So I went ahead and got it and watched it and decided I would go ahead and do a video on the filming locations that were used in the movie. So that's what this video is for. This isn't about the story of Rick Wershe necessarily. Obviously the movie was based off of him, but if you're looking for more information on him himself, there's a lot that's on the internet that you can find. This is about the movie locations used for the filming of White Boy Rick. Now, Rick Wershe and the story and everything was based on things that happened in Detroit, Michigan. For the movie itself, as far as the filming locations go, there was a couple scenes filmed in Detroit as well as Las Vegas, Nevada, but the majority, almost everything used in the movie was filmed in Cleveland, Ohio. And that's where the locations are that I tracked down for this video. So I'm pretty familiar with Cleveland, but this movie definitely took me to parts of the city and area, the greater Cleveland area, that I hadn't been to and wasn't familiar with. So I found a majority of the locations they used in the movie. Hope you enjoy this video, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so this building here directly in front of me is a filming location that was used for White Boy Rick. This would have been the building that was used as the gun show. It would have been housed in this actual structure. This is in Berea, Ohio. This is part of the Berea Fairgrounds. If I pan around, you can kind of see some of the other buildings around here. This is not in Detroit, Michigan. This is one of the many locations that used here in the greater Cleveland area. This building here with the restroom ATM on it, that would have been visible. That green roof, you definitely see that. And this is the building that the gun show would have been housed in. They would have used it during filming. So right about where I'm standing, there was a very noticeable still shot that was taken. You see this like bay door that's here, and then there's a smaller door that's right there. There's like a decorative grating, like a green grating that's around that. There's clearly a shot that was taken right from where I am here. But the scenes of that gun show were taken inside of this building. It is not currently open, due to COVID and everything, and this is just a downtime for the fairgrounds. So I can't get any interior shots, but this is the one that they used for filming. Okay, so I'm here in Cleveland, Ohio. And this house right here is the house that was used in White Boy Rick. This would have been the house that Rick and his dad and sister lived in the movie. And then, just like in the movie, right across the street would have been his Rick's grandparents' house. So they show a lot of things that happen in this general intersection right here. But one of the first scenes in the movie they show, when Rick and his dad are driving home, they're coming down this road right here in this direction when they're coming to get his sister to see if she wants to get custard. And something that they distinctively show that happens right here in front of the house is when Rick's dad is driving, he's pulling right up along the side of the house. Now there's snow here right now, so it's a little hard to see, but that guardrail was not here during filming, nor was this fence right here. But right here is a lip on the curb where this drain is. Right here is the drain. The curb runs right here. There's a lip on the curb. So Rick's dad, played by Matthew McConaughey, when he drives up in front of the house, he literally like drives up onto that and parks the car and stops it right on top of that lip. But this is the front of the house that they used. A lot of scenes that were shot here, and if I zoom in here, you can see the address that's visible. It matches up with this street. This is where they shot the scene. So then when Rick Sr. goes in to get Dawn, she's in there with the guy that she was seeing at the time. His car would have been parked right here. You know, he takes off. He actually comes in his car and flies out of here. And Senior's parents are here. Rick Jr.'s grandparents are coming, and he almost hits them. So the Imperial would have been right out here on the road is where the car would have stopped. And you can clearly see this house right here in that shot. So you know, Rick's dad runs out here into the street. Dawn comes running out. She's got like a shirt and like underwear on and socks, and she comes running out of the walkway here and right out into the street here. And that's where, you know, the whole family's literally out here having a family dispute.
You don't need to stop the car, Pop. Everything's fine. Don't get out of the car.
Everything is not fine. A man just ran out of your house almost against my Imperial.
And, you know, Rick Sr.'s telling his dad he's got it under control. And then he tells her to get in the car, that they're going for custard. But that happened, you know, right out here at this intersection.
Put some clothes on, will ya? We're going for custard.
Another angle of the house. And they actually did shoot the inside of this house. They did shoot the footage inside of the house. So if you remember, there was a scene where Rick Sr. comes to this window right here, and he's looking out, and you can clearly see where I'm standing out here in the street through that window as they shot backwards, as well as when they go inside the doors here. You know, the staircase would have been like straight ahead and up into this house, all very visible. That matches up with the interiors of this house. And one more reason that I know that is this house was on the market back in, I believe it was like 2011, and I came across some pictures, and I can go ahead and splice those in here to show you with some of the things that were used during filming of the movie, but it matches up identically with the way the inside of that house looked. So, okay, this is a location that they used on the east side of Cleveland for, this is the building right over here that was like Johnny's, like his crew's hangout. And they show Rick riding his bike, like right here. He goes right past this bus shelter. It goes right over there towards that building over there. And the FBI agents were watching him from kind of the angle that I'm shooting this. So if you remember correctly, this door right here, there would have been like a guy sitting there. I think there was like a mailbox, a phone booth or whatever. All matches up perfectly. So Rick would have ridden his bike right down this sidewalk in that direction. Okay, so this is the sidewalk that Rick would have ridden down on his bike. So he literally they would have been filming right where I'm standing, and he literally would have ridden past the camera on his way to that door right over here. So this is the side of Johnny's building. You know, the building that Johnny was in. So it would have been right over here. And then in the movie, right over here is the door that they go in and out of. Okay, I'm here in Euclid, Ohio, and the building that's right here in front of me is the roller skating rink. This would have been the Skate and Roll. This is the location that they used for that movie, and it actually is a skating rink. This is where they filmed the interiors as well as obviously the exterior. But this would have been the entrance. Now, when I first found this location, it was kind of throwing me for a curve because I saw, I'll show you here in a second, the front and the sides of it, and it didn't match up with the entrance whatsoever. And I thought, well, maybe they only filmed the exterior of it and used an interior rink elsewhere. Then I came around the back side and bingo, perfect match. So in the movie, this would have been the entranceway for the rink, and right on this wall right here would have been a neon sign that said Skate and Roll. You would have seen these all match up, so you can see like these vent covers. You know, there's a cover over the vents that are there, the two air conditioning units, and there's a little side door, telephone pole. All this stuff matches up perfectly. So there would have been an awning that was over this door here, neon sign would have been there, but you can see those air conditioning units in this vent. And then when everybody was coming here, they parked right out here in this parking lot. This is also where the FBI agents were watching everybody show up to this place. But in one scene where you know, some of the guys were getting out of the car walking in, you can see this building over the shoulder. It's like a loading dock ramp for the building next to it. But you can see that that visible when he's getting out of the car with his date walking in this direction. But this is the exterior of the rink. This is the doors that they would have gone in for the to enter in the movie. Awning would have been here, and then the neon sign would have been right here on this wall. So the interiors were shot in here, and you can see the length of the rink, how it runs that way. And inside here, there's a couple like support beams that are in there that have sort of like a bend to them, and I'll splice in a photo here and show you. Those were visible in some of the scenes when they were filming. You can see they had like a neon lights that were flashing when they were skating that are on those exact same beams. But this is where they filmed the interior and exterior scenes of Skate and Roll for White Boy Rick. Okay, I'm here in North Ridgeville, Ohio, and this is the filming location that they used for White Boy Rick. As you can probably tell from what I'm showing here, this is where the drive-in movie was. So if you remember correctly, Rick and Brenda and two of Rick's friends came here to go to the movies, and they shot a scene right here. So in the movie, they show, it's a brief shot, but this building directly out here, right here that I'm pointing to, that's where they have the concessions and show the movie. You know, it's projected from this building, and then it shoots towards that screen over here. And there's also another screen way off in the distance over there. But if you remember, Rick and Brenda were kind of sitting like out in front of this building, out in this lot here somewhere, and they're just talking, and they share a kiss. And also right before that scene, they show, you know, Rick's two friends, and they're sitting, I think like sitting on a car, bored out of their mind. I think the movie was Footloose, and they clearly were not enjoying it. But one of the things that is pretty noticeable about this location, and how I knew it was this exact drive-in theater, is look off in the distance. See all those cars going by, the semi-trucks and the cars? That's the Ohio Turnpike. And if you remember in the movie, well, maybe not if you remember, but if you look in the background of the movie, when they're showing this building here and that screen off in the distance over there, you'll see cars going by. It's the Ohio Turnpike. So recognizable thing in the background that tipped me to this is where they filmed it. A very distinctive thing that you see in that lets you know that this is Rick's parents' house. The decorative brickwork here that's on the porch. You can clearly make out these. They're sort of like, I don't want to call it like diamonds, you know, like the cutouts or whatever that's into the brickwork. And then at one point they do show his dad standing out here on the porch, and you can see the house address very visible in that shot as well. And then just down the road here is the side the side garage. This is where the Imperial would have been parked, where Rick goes into the garage and sneaks out and gets the car. Now they show the angle from like right here. The garage door would have been lifted up, so this car obviously wasn't there, but the Imperial would have been backed into the garage right here. So that's where Rick goes into the garage, gets into the Imperial, rolls it out, and then they show him start driving slowly down the road in this direction. Okay, so I'm here in Cleveland, Ohio, and this is the diner that was used in the movie White Boy Rick. This would have been the diner that Rick went to he had like a big stuffed animal duck that he went to when he was meeting Dawn. He also drove the Imperial here that night, so the Imperial would have been parked right out here. And Rick was sitting in a booth that was right here. So he was sitting at a booth, and I'll show you right inside here. He would have been sitting at a booth that would have been positioned like right here. It was the second booth from the front. So I know I'm getting a glare, but you can kind of see there's a booth there, and there's a booth here. It would have been pushed over a little further because he was in the second booth back, but he was sitting like right here in the restaurant. If you look through the glass, you can see those bar stools. Those are visible in that as well. The floor, very recognizable in that shot too. Now, this location was a little hard for me to find, despite the sign being visible in the movie. So you're gonna see the sign for the restaurant right here. It says the 49er Restaurant, very visible right now. But during filming, that sign was visible out the window. So when Dawn sits down, she sat on this side of the booth. Rick was talking to her. You could see out the window, you could see that sign, but it was blurry. So she was in focus and that sign was blurred and I couldn't make out what it was saying. I could see it looked like F-O-R-T possibly, maybe P-O-R-T, but I couldn't make out the rest of the word. So what tipped me to this is the location. I Googled cars on shelves of diners in Cleveland and found this. So look at the cars that are on the wall here. I know there's a glare, but see all those cars that are kind of behind the counter? When I Googled that, that shelving popped up in an image, and then I was able to find out the name of the location of this restaurant, which was the 49er, as I said, and it tipped me to this is where it was. So as soon as I found the name, it was easy to find this spot. But this is where Rick and Dawn were talking right here at the booth. There he's sitting there, and that's when they looked out, and Dawn said, did you lock the Imperial or something to that effect?
Didn't leave the keys in Grandpa's car, did you?
And the Imperial would have been sitting right here. And somebody gets in the car and takes off. So the car would have backed up and sped off in this direction. It would have gone down this road here and hung a left. And that's when they show Dawn and Rick come racing out of this door right here, right from the angle that I'm standing in. And they come running across this parking lot, and both of them are right here, opening fire on the car that was taking off. And then of course, as you remember, then the police come around the corner here, and Dawn and Rick get right down onto the ground.
Drop the firearm! Get on the ground! Yeah. Get him!
So they get arrested right here in this spot. And if you remember in that scene, they show like a server and some customers kind of like looking up after all the gunfire. They're kind of looking out the window like to see like what the hell is going on. And the duck is still visible in the window in that shot. That stuffed animal duck was still there. But this is the location that they used. Again, it's another Cleveland, Ohio location. This was the diner or the restaurant that was used in White Boy Rick. Okay, so this is another filming location for the movie White Boy Rick. I'm in Lakewood, Ohio. And this land that's in front of me, this big open lot, is actually where the Lakewood Hospital sat. It was recently demolished. But before it was demolished, they did filming for the scene where Rick was shot and was taken to the hospital. This is the hospital that they used. So when Rick's dad, played by Matthew McConaughey, came to visit him in the hospital, this is where that scene would have been taken. But this is just the location. They never show you the interiors. I'm sorry, they never show you the exterior of the hospital. They only show the interior. So the hospital actually had a wing of it that was not being used. It had already been closed down, and that's what they used to film that scene in the movie. But this is where the Lakewood Hospital would have sat. So this is the location where Rick Sr. would have been going out in his car at night to wait for Johnny and his crew. Rick Sr. would have been sitting in a car parked right here, right by this tree at night. So he was sitting there waiting with the gun, waiting for, after Rick Jr., his son, had been shot, he was waiting on Johnny to show up here at his place. Now I just showed you the front of it. This is the back side of it. So I'll show you the side. That door that they would go in and out of that I showed you, where Rick Jr. would, was riding the bike. There's the bus stop that I showed you. He came across this parking lot. That's the one side entrance. But at night, when Rick was out here waiting in his car parked right here, the guys would have rolled up. They would have come down the street around him and would have pulled right up here, right by this telephone pole. So their car would have been parked here. And this doorway right here, this garage, bay door was open in that shot. So I'll show you the scene from the other angle. It would have looked kind of like this. So this would have been looking back towards the direction of what Rick Sr. would have seen when he was parked here. So his car was parked right here under this tree, and then the other guy, you know, Johnny and his guy's car came around and pulled up in front of him. So he was kind of sitting back here in the dark, and their car pulled right up there, and they were unloading, I think, like some fur coats, if I remember correctly. But you can see that telephone pole, and that's the door that would have been open in that shot. So they filmed all of that scene also right here in Cleveland. And one more thing that you can see is when Rick Sr. is sitting there in his car, up the road, you can see that building up there. I think it's like a restaurant or something, but you can see like how it has like a brick with like the cream colored pillars. You can see that right down the road from where he's sitting, from the angle I'm shooting. But the building here would have been like where, as I said, like where Johnny and his crew would have been hanging out. So there were like pinball machines that were in there, like a pool table and that kind of thing. But when this building gets raided by the FBI agents later in the movie, all this is visible. So they come running out. I think it might have been like Boo. I think the guy's name was Boo, if I remember correctly, came running out of this building right here. And he tries to climb the fence, but you can clearly see this. It says like A1, like Bach Auto, but you can clearly see that it's right here. It's kind of faded, but that looks like it's what it says. And this building, the paint has a kind of like the maroonish paint. You can clearly see that on the building when he's coming out of here trying to jump the fence. Okay, so during the raid in the movie, I came across the street to give you a better view. Here's that sign that you see up on there. So right here is the fence that he's like jumping up on, trying to climb out of to get away. And you can see that building right here that was very visible when the agent was like kind of like pulling him back down onto the ground. But this is right here where they filmed that location. Here in Cleveland again, doing another filming location for White Boy Rick. This house right here would have been where Brenda lived in White Boy Rick. This is the house that Rick would have gone to see her when he found out, you know, after her little brother came to his house to tell him that she was pregnant and had a baby, and he didn't know about it yet. So he went to go see her. So he walks up these steps. They show him walk right up here, open the door, and you can see, I don't know if you can kind of see, I'm not gonna walk right up on their house there. The oval window that's right there, very visible in the shot, as well as this rail. When they look back towards the street, like when Rick goes there, knocks on the door, Brenda's brother was answered the door, and he looked back towards the street where Rick's dad would have been parked in the car, right here, literally where that spot is open. That's where Matthew McConaughey would have been sitting. You can see that rail right here. You can see that post right here in that shot. So anyway, so that's where they both go, because Rick Sr. then gets out of the car and goes in and visits as well. Now, when they come back out after visiting, they come over here and stand right here on the grass, and they have a little talk. And Rick was just, Rick's dad was telling him how basically like he and his sister weren't really planned, but they turned out to be great kids, things like that. When Rick Jr. is standing here, you can see that building right over his shoulder. And when I swing around here, when they show the angle of Rick Jr. looking at Rick Sr., you can see this business name as well as this sign. It's sort of being blocked out. It's like right about like this. And you see it's Alabassi, I think is the name of it, but it's kind of blocked out. So, but this telephone pole and this sign are behind Rick Sr., Matthew McConaughey's head when they filmed that shot. So the building that would have been Johnny's apartment was in this building right here. This is in Cleveland, Ohio. It's called the 9. You can see that it's over here, but I'll try to show you a shot up. This is the building that they used where Rick goes to see Johnny's girl after he was arrested. They used the interior of this building. Okay, I'm here in Strongsville, Ohio, and I'm at the King's Inn. And this is the hotel that was used in the movie White Boy Rick. Later in the movie, when Rick and his dad are coming to secretly meet with the FBI agents. So right where I'm standing is where they filmed that shot of Rick and his dad coming down this little drive here in the car. I believe there were like 2 other cars that were parked over here in that scene. I think one of them was backed in. They were cars that looked kind of like that period, you know, like that it dated like 80s, so they were older vehicles. But they would have been right here pulled in, and you can clearly see this building right here in that shot when they're coming down the road. That's like the office to the hotel. But as the car was coming down the road right here, they make the turn. Right when they make the turn where I am here, you can see this brick wall that's right here, how it has sort of like the openings in it. That's very visible in that shot. And then of course you see the King's Inn sign that's right there. Now there would have been a car parked, I believe, like right in this spot here. There's obviously an RV right next to that spot now, but Rick and his dad would have pulled their car right into where this car is right here. They would have pulled right into that spot, and they clearly show this angle of it. And then if you look, when they're getting out of the car, they show another angle that's kind of here. It's shot down a little lower, but you can see that staircase that was right there. But this is the scene that they used and shot in that movie. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly what room they used in the movie. They don't show Rick and his dad walking up here, and they don't show the agents walking to the hotel either, but I'm going to show you the room that they used. It was right here, room 264. This is the room that they used for filming. As I said, they don't show this side of it. When the agents are inside, you can see the glass window as they're talking. As you can see here, they just have windows up high. But this is the room that they used. I talked to an employee here, and he said that they, did some refurbishing and painting and things of that nature. But I'll go around and show you the back side of it. Okay, I'm now on the back side of the hotel to show you the exact room that they used. 264. Right up there is the room, so I'm obviously not going to be able to get up there to it. But if you remember in the scene where they're meeting the FBI agents, there was a glass, large glass window that was visible in that scene. So when I shot the side that had the doorway on it, you didn't see anything. There were just those little windows that were high up. This is the exact room that they shot that scene where Rick and his dad met the FBI agents. So it's the second story, and if I swing around here, you can see there's like a courtyard. Rental offices over there, and this is all part of the hotel here. But this is the back side of it, showing the exact room was right up there, 264 for White Boy Rick. And I can see why they used this hotel, trying to find something that looked very dated, that would have fit the scene of what they were looking to film here. This definitely fits the bill. So having come here in person, I now understand why they picked this location. Here's a little side view of the hotel with the sign, and you're probably hearing a lot of noise in the background. It's because the highway is literally right beside it right here. I apologize for that, but here's the side of this.
Okay, this is the Justice Center in downtown Cleveland, and this would have been the exact spot where Rick Sr. was waiting outside of the building for the female FBI agent. He confronted her here, and they started talking. Take a look at the brickwork as well as the concrete, the kind of like paths of concrete, as well as those pillars in the background. They perfectly match up for the spot where they shot that scene. And then the camera, I'm going to rotate around here. The camera then shows another angle of Rick Sr. talking to her, and you can see this metallic art structure that's here, as well as the building across the street.
Okay, as you can see from the sign, this is the Grafton Correctional Institution. This is where they filmed the prison scenes when Rick was incarcerated. This is where Rick's dad and Sister Dawn and Rick's daughter would have come and visited him. They did the filming here. I'm going to be limited as to what I can show you here for various reasons because it's an active correctional facility. But I'll just show you the building where they had to enter, and they show him leaving to get into the parking lot of the car after the visiting him in prison. Okay, so this building right out here in front of me, right out here straight ahead, is the correctional facility entrance to a correctional facility that was used in the movie White Boy Rick. Now, I'm not going to film the correctional facility. It's for various reasons. It's right here near where I'm shooting, but this building that's right here in front of me is where you would go to, I assume, check in to go visit inmates. That said, this is the location that they used in the movie when they show Rick Sr. and Dawn leaving the prison with his daughter to visit Rick when he was here. They did shoot it out here. I don't know which of these facilities they used. This is the building that you see in that background when they come out, though. And then they come out here into the parking lot, you know, where these cars are, and they would get in the car and then, of course, drive away. But you can see that building off in the distance right over there. But this is the location that they used for the movie.